Hey, this is Learning Again with Truly Writer. Again, Truly Jacob, a writer, is my pen writing media name, so you probably won't see my face. So we're going to continue Big Thoughts for Little People by Kenneth N. Taylor, ABCs to Help You Grow. Again, I really think there should be an audio that gives you the proper distinct sounds of each letter of the alphabet. We have done A through O so far, so let's continue on. So we left off with the letter O, and again, we're going to start off comparing scripture with scripture because we have established that they give you the reference of the Living Bible, which is a paraphrased Bible. There probably should be a kid's version, but then there's an adult version that says something different. So, like, why are there two different versions of the Living Bible, and one's different for kids versus one's different for adults? I would expect, maybe pictures to be different. But why would there be two different Bibles, not exactly the same version, but they call themselves the Living Bible? That doesn't really make any sense, but that's kind of what's happened with other versions of the Bible. Anyways, let's compare scripture with scripture. Again, these are Christian materials to teach kids moral lessons. And what's the other thing? Oh, yeah, to help you teach the alphabet. But again, there is no audio that comes with these books to give the clear distinction of each letter. So someone could literally make up the sound of a letter and be like, or put two sounds of two other letters together and be like, this is what we call O, or whatever. And so if you were a kid or a child and no one taught you the sounds of each letter that's standalone as one of the first sounds of that language, then how would you know any different? Because that's what they taught you. So that's what I think happened to me. Right now, I don't have any proof. It's a theory, it's a philosophy, but I can't really communicate with anyone. People don't seem to understand what I'm saying. People tell me to be more positive, but then everyone's really negative around me, and it seems like all they really want is negativity. So they tell me one thing, but then they do the exact opposite all the time. And it's like, well, you told me to respect my elders and other people around me. I want positivity, but it seems like no one respects me. So again, trying to do the best I can so positivity and negativity is allowed in this video, because that's the type of environment I'm in. You can't expect someone to be 100% positive if everyone, every single individual isn't creating that super positive environment for every single individual, no matter where they are. So again, I am doing the best I can. So again, Christian materials. So, I could talk about God. I could talk about, what Christians believe, what is in their Bible, because they have scripture in here. So if that's a problem for you, that scripture is in this video, you're agnostic, you're atheist, you're a certain religion, you don't believe in looking at other religions' materials, then I would stop watching this video and go somewhere else. So, children, obey your parents. This is the right thing to do. Ephesians 6:1. So again, the Living Bible. Ephesians 6:1. Dear brothers, if a Christian is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help him back onto the right path, remembering that the next time it might be one of you who is in the wrong. Do I have Ephesians 6:1? Where is children obey your parents, that is the right thing to do. Yeah, I didn't read that in there. Let's read it again. Dear brothers, if a Christian is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently, humbly help him back onto the right path. Remember that the next time it might be one of you who is in the wrong. Oh, that's Galatians. I'm in the wrong verse. Sorry. I meant that. Sometimes that happens. Go to the wrong verse. Okay, children, obey your parents. This is the right thing to do because God has placed them in authority over you. So, that's the part that's, they didn't put that in here for some reason. Like, why wouldn't you say God has placed them in authority over you? Anyways, let's go to the letter P. Okay. For polite, saying thank you and please. It's easy to do and put others at ease. When you ask for something, it is more polite to say, may I please have it, than to say, give me that. And when someone gives you something, it is polite to say thank you. Being polite shows respect. That means you think the other person is as good as you are, and even better. God wants us to respect other people, so he likes it when we are polite. He doesn't want us to think we are better than others. Oh no, I'm being triggered again. Negative experiences are coming up. Okay, so what's coming up is literally I remember when I was little that, I don't know, for some reason I was saying gimme, or someone did teach me this, don't say gimme or whatever. And like a bunch of people would be like, here, help me in the kitchen. Here, help me do this. Here, help me do this. Here, help me do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. So they put all these expectations on me, and no one actually ever said thank you for any of the stuff they made me help them with. That was like cutting tomatoes, whatever. They never said thank you. So they put this expectation on me, like, you have to be polite to everyone else around you, but no one's gonna be really genuinely polite to you and appreciate what you do for them. But you have to do that for all of us. Because there were times when I gave people gifts. I spent money on it. I thought they would like it, right? For birthdays or, Christmas, doing something for that individual, like your authority figures, your teachers, the people, that are your elders. Like, I tried to respect their opinions and stuff like that. Did they ever really say thank you for the respect that you're showing me? No, they demanded that I respect them without respecting me back and being polite back. So it was like everyone in my life, even friends, right? I did my best to value the friendship, call them, and maybe maybe one person said thank you for calling me out of all the people I tried to call. You were lucky if you got a response back where it's like, okay, I'm gonna call this person back because they left a voice message on my phone. Okay, but everyone was super busy and no one really went out of their way to call me. So it was like, I was the polite one where it's like, I thought I established a friendship and a connection and a bond with different individuals, people who I called my friends. And what do? It's like, I don't care about having a real friendship with you. I don't care about like talking to you every once in a while to see how you're doing. I don't care about you at all. And they claim to be Christian. They declared themselves as the same denomination. Other people later claimed a different denomination because I was trying to be like, where's the truth? Where's the truth? Is anyone going to befriend me and include me in their group? No one ever included me in their group. They just talk the talk. And so they're polite in a superficial way where they're like, I care about you. I love you, but I don't really mean what I say at all because I'm not going to do anything to demonstrate that I actually care about you. I'm just going to say it when you call me first. I'm never going to call you first. So that's kind of how I feel. Oh, and that was all the family. That was the how the people who declared themselves as my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, my cousin, my parents, my brother were. It's like if I didn't reach out to everyone first, I didn't talk to anyone. And then the people who declared themselves as my parents, they didn't actually want to get to know me and help me develop my natural gifts and talents and learn how to play an instrument as a child so that way I could continue lessons as a teenager. Maybe get really good at that instrument. You know, they never mandated you have to be consistent doing chores. You have to be consistent doing the thing called brush your teeth at least once a day, you know. So again, consistency, everything I learned. If you want to learn something, you have to put your mind to it and you have to do it all by yourself because no one's really going to help you. And people want me to say thank you to them. You want me to say thank you to all my teachers for teaching me improperly? Thank you, teachers, for not pronouncing any of the alphabet properly. Thank you for pronouncing the letter A as A, and B as B, and C as C. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Thank you for not giving me the distinct sounds of every single letter. Thank you for everyone around me always talking wrong all the time and spreading negativity everywhere you go and not caring about me at all. Thank you so much that you don't love me at all, that you just say you do, but you don't mean it at all. Is that really what I'm supposed to do? Say thank you for all the negativity? Who in their right mind would say thank you for unleashing negativity onto them? I didn't think that's how it worked. That's not how I was raised, especially when you actually read the words and you understand the meaning of words. Are some of the meaning and definitions wrong? Probably, but it's better to go by the written than probably the audible part of the language that I've been given. But you know, everyone thinks that they're right and they have all the answers and they have so much wisdom and counsel to bestow on me to make my life successful, but none of their counsel actually made me successful in any area of my life. It just brought major failure. So I have failure for religion, failure for health, failure for education, failure to be able to buy and be able to pay all sorts of bills or payments that you have to pay for different equipment and things you need to survive in this world. Failure to be able to live on my own and get my own apartment because I'm not able to make enough money because you need like thousands and thousands of dollars per day, pretty much, to make a legitimate income. And they only pay you for some of the minutes and the hour. But I'm supposed to say thank you that you only want to pay me for 25 minutes in an hour, and sometimes 15 minutes only in an hour, or no minutes in an hour at all. I'm supposed to say thank you. Thank you for not scheduling, a client for, that manual service that you're supposed to do for someone. Thank you for messing up my work schedule so I don't get paid for that hour at all, even though I showed up to work. Thank you so much. So, but hey, that's how society is. They're really negative, but they want to believe that they're extremely positive people. Everyone around you. We're so positive. So positive. You need to be more positive too. But it's like they obviously don't understand how money and time works and how much money you actually need to pay all the bills that you're responsible for to live on your own, and like that you need extra money coming in to actually cover the cost of repairs that need to be made, right? Because you're responsible for taking care of all the repairs yourself, like for a car, a vehicle, computers, radios, any kind of equipment, your kitchen, your fridge, your washer, your dryer. There's stuff inside the walls that need repair, like your water tank, plumbing, dishwasher. It all adds up, and everything, everybody made everything so expensive that's like, how can you afford to live? I can't. So that's why I kind of like gave up. And it's like, well, if you want me to live in society, I demand that you re-educate me and teach me how to talk properly, because I've had enough of talking wrong, but like, will I get better materials? We'll see. But I'm going on strike. So people claim to be my parents. Hey, well, being a parent to me, they say they're gonna become dead at some point, or they're waiting for the second coming of Christ. I don't know which is gonna come first. But somehow someone's gotta feed me, right? I have clothes. They may not fit properly, but at least I'm clothed. I have shelter, I have food. It may not be all the food that I need to get healthy, but at least I have food, right? So I'm trying to be thankful for what I have. But yeah, that's what is the trigger this time. People expected me to be polite and nice and kind. I did my best. And then when I was negative because something went wrong, because someone hurt me, it's like, well, I got in trouble. I got the blame, even though they hurt me, and they never apologized for how they hurt me. So it's like, okay, people talk the talk. Well, we need to be nice to each other, but no one really wants to love and care about me and be consistently nice to me. So we'll see if society changes. I hope it changes, because I want positivity in my life. I want to mingle with other people who are positive and loving and caring and kind. Um, so, um, so I do value, being polite, but shouldn't it be genuine? It shouldn't be fake. It shouldn't be forced. Like I literally, there's times where I've gone to a park to go for a walk, and I wave to other people, or whatever. I've said hi or whatever, or someone waved to me, and it was like, I waved back. I was polite, but in that wave, I felt utterly alone because it's like, I don't know you. You don't know me. We're strangers. You waved, but I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I don't know your likes, your dislikes. I don't know what you enjoy learning, what stuff you enjoy learning, or what hobbies and activities you enjoy doing. No one ever really helped me experience fun. So literally, what do? I watch movies, I read books, I listen to music, I think of solutions. How do you make this world a better place? Um, and then it's like you write President Trump letters, you write the governor of New York State letters. And well, okay, so the governor today did give me a response. Like, I wrote a bunch of letters. Here's ideas of how to make New York State better. And she responded and was like, yeah, let's like work together as a team and make New York a better place. So it was broad and vague. I don't know all the details of what the governor of New York State, Kathy, is doing. I can't pronounce her last name for the life of me. But it was like, oh, cool, I got a response from the governor. I wasn't expecting the government to take time from her busy day to respond to my letter. But it was very positive. It was written in a very positive way. And it's like, okay, like, obviously the governor knows who I am, and that I stopped paying taxes. I gave up on life or whatever, and it's like, I don't know how to do it anymore. The governor said nothing about like coming to my house and arresting me for, not filing taxes for 1 year or anything. So it was like, maybe the governor and President Trump are going to try to, make the world a better place and make it a fair place for everyone to live, including me, so I can actually learn properly, pay bills, be more independent, be able to afford to get better materials, get rid of the bad materials. Because, like, something happened weird to my clothes. Like, I bought them bigger, and it's like they shrunk while they were on the hanger. They didn't even shrink in the dryer. Like, what happened to my clothes that all of a sudden the clothes shrunk and they don't really fit, and pants were bigger and they used to fit and now they don't fit. So weird stuff is happening, and it's like, if you try to tell anybody what's really going on, they're like, we're gonna lock you up, we think you're hallucinating. So what, am I supposed to say thank you because no one's acknowledging real problems that are happening in my life? Thank you. We're not gonna counsel you correctly. We're not gonna help implement any real solutions to the problems that are going on in your life. You have to figure it out all by your lonesome self. So again, it's like the message is, we'll be polite and we'll wave from a distance. We'll say to your face we love and care about you, but we're not going to do anything with our words, our actions, our behavior to actually love and care about you. We're going to enjoy creating this superficial society where everyone's really fake, not caring, not loving, say one thing but really mean another. What a great life. And you want me to be super positive, but that's how literally everybody treats me. Like, I can't handle it anymore. I'm done. I'm done. But it's like, what do people want from me? I don't even know, because I really did my best to respect authority, obey the bosses, do what other people wanted me to do. It should have brought me super great success in my work career, in my home life, in my religious life. All I got was failure. But you want me to say thank you for failing? Okay, so thank you, everyone, for being super negative and making it so all I am is a failure in life. Thank you so much. It would have been a lot nicer of you, teachers, if you had actually just given me an F. You have failed first grade. You have failed kindergarten. You have failed second grade and third and fourth and eighth, all of them. You have failed all the grades of high school. You have failed college. So if that's what you really wanted for me, was to be this big, gigantic failure, why didn't you keep me in school forever? Why did you declare over me, you're an adult? So that at least then I could keep learning and learning and learning and eventually you're gonna get it. But you have to stay in school forever because you're a failure. You're not learning properly. Like, why didn't they do that? Because that would be a better way to fail, because then at least you're not responsible for all the finances. Because they never taught me how to be responsible for finances in elementary school, in high school, or even in college. And you pay an accountant, and they didn't teach you how to be responsible for all the finances. They never sat down with me and it's like, these are all the bills you are responsible for paying if you live on your own and you have an apartment. This is how much you're making. Okay, this is how much you need to be able to make to financially cover every expense just to maintain life. And that would include a budget for car repairs and saving up for a better used car when the time came. Okay? No one sat me down and actually talked me through exactly how much money you really legitimately need to make to pay all the expenses in life. Like if you have your own business, how much money do you need to pay for insurance? People were quoting health insurance for $600 a month. I don't necessarily even make $600 in 1 week, and there's 4 weeks in a month, and $1,000 dollars and $500 or $700 or $900 or $2,000 is what it costs for an apartment for one person, pretty much for 1 month in this area. I never made over $2,000 because then, it's over $200 a week for groceries just for yourself for 2 meals a day. And there's 168 hours in an actual week. Or is it a month? I forget. No, I did week. No, 7 times 24 is 168 hours in a week. But then groceries were over $200. That literally took up, if you're lucky to get 2 clients in a week, that just paid for food and literally gas, and maybe I did try to buy some things in bulk. But literally when the grocery bill started to go to $200 or more a week, literally I begged someone to pay for groceries for me. They made me go gluten-free because they're like, oh yeah, God put me in your life to help you out. You're supposed to go gluten-free. You can't eat bread anymore, even though the Bible never says anything about giving up bread. It just says, fast for like a week, like 8 days for Passover. That's it. But they're like, you need to give up bread for the whole year, the rest of your life. It's bad because gluten's in it. So they're not even going with what the Bible says, because some other health ladies, like, and the mainstream people are like, oh yeah, I'm allergic to gluten. I'm allergic to gluten. I can't eat gluten. Bread's bad for me. Is it the negativity that you're speaking over yourself that's making it bad for you? Because it wasn't bad at all until people started saying it was bad. Anyways, so I begged this person, but they demanded that I go gluten-free. So I went mostly gluten-free, and it didn't help improve my health at all. So to me, if I didn't show any signs of being allergic to bread beforehand, I was like, okay, let's try going mostly gluten-free. So I tried, because to me, if you at least even try to eliminate something a lot and you lessen the amount of the intake of gluten, then you should be able to feel in your body if your body's giving you a reaction of is getting rid of this food, making me feel healthier, feel better. It didn't do that. Actually had the opposite effect, where I actually craved gluten even more. I craved bread even more, and it was like my body was like, you reject the whole stupid health principle of going gluten-free. Because it was like my body was literally craving bread, real bread with gluten, if that's really what's in bread. So, but it's like I'm supposed to say thank you for putting a health restriction on me when my body is declaring to myself, you don't really have that health restriction. Maybe someone else does, but you don't have that health restriction. So people are literally making stuff up all the time, and they have this super high expectation of me of like, if you do this, this will make you successful. If you do this for health, it will heal you. If you go to a plant-based diet and you give up eggs and cheese, like, your skin will heal and you'll detox. You'll be vegan and you'll detox and your skin will improve. That never happened going vegan. So they gave me misinformation, and I'm supposed to say thank you. Thank you for giving me misinformation about health. You didn't give me any true health at all. Now, the true health that people did give me was, okay, my body rejects flesh meat, which means a living being, an animal or beast, died or became dead, and you eat the muscles of that beast or animal. At one point I did try eating it. My body rejected it. I spit it out immediately. And then when I was processing the whole thing of what is a chicken egg, an embryo is in here. So I did become allergic to chicken eggs or eggs because it's an embryo, it's a fetus, and it could be a living being if it was fertilized. So it was like, gross, I can't eat this anymore. So, like, I definitely lessened it, but some of the vegetarian fake meat that it has no flesh whatsoever, for the most part, it did have like egg whites in it or whatever. So it's like, well, it makes the food taste better, and there may be a little bit. So it's like I chucked it up as, or how do you put it? Like, I just be like, I'm doing the best I can. I need my food to taste good. But then a part of me is like, was thinking things through. It's like, did someone declare that an egg with a shell is an embryo? Did someone give me false information about that? Is there some kind of substance that you could create a shell? Is there some kind of pre thing you can do where it's like, here's processed plant-based foods, here's this white thing, here's this like yellow substance, and because it's in the shape of an egg, you call it an egg, and someone declare it as an embryo. Maybe there's like a plant-based version that tastes exactly what I tasted before, because literally that was one of the things when people didn't tell me it was bad. I didn't know really what it was. I couldn't comprehend it. My body literally ate that. Sometimes I would basically eat 2 egg sandwiches, fry the egg thoroughly, have fake bacon, so I didn't eat pig bacon at all. But I like fried it in butter, salted it, maybe threw some black pepper on it eventually. But literally that was my staple as like 10 on up to like maybe third, fourth, fifth grade on to up to eighth grade, or whatever, before I was 12 years old. Actually, it was like I was eating eggs like twice a day, multiple times a day. Like, it's like if I was there for breakfast, it'd be like, okay, scrambled eggs, fried potatoes, and then, oh, like no one's making a meal, you're hungry. Oh, here's a fried egg sandwich with cheese. It tasted so delicious. And my body was literally craving them all the time. So it's like, part of me is like, what? Did someone give me false information? Did someone lie and say it was an embryo when it's really some kind of plant-based liquidy substance that is tastes amazing? Like, the dairy products, did it truly have a cow's breast milk in it? Or did someone give me false information and be like, we're gonna pretend that this item here is really breast milk. We're gonna pretend that this item here that's an egg is really a chicken embryo. And it's like, do you know the difference between something that's food and plant-based and something that has a real living being in it? Do you know the difference? Because I'm starting to think maybe people don't know the difference. But definitely the flesh meat stuff, couldn't eat that. But the egg stuff for a time I was able to eat. The breast milk stuff for a time I was able to eat. So it makes me think that maybe they were giving me false information. And it was like, yeah, you can eat it because they're lying to you about what's real, what your food really is. Because they want to believe that it has real breast milk in it from a cow. They want to believe that they're eating a real chicken embryo. And I'm supposed to be being polite and saying thank you to society as a whole for lying to me about what the food really is. Thank you for lying to me. Thank you for giving me false information. Thank you for being so negative. Thank you for hating me and not caring about me at all. Thank you for not wanting food to taste good and be plant-based only. Thank you so much. So let's continue on. Point to the children in the picture who are being polite. I can't see any of them speak. How do I know that they're really being polite? I guess because there are people going around and they're going to the adults or someone older than them and serving them food while they're sitting down. So I guess that's what they mean by being polite. Tell some ways you can be polite. Well, we discussed a bunch of things. Being polite, telling the truth. Or technically, that's not what I taught was being polite. Being polite is if someone opens the door for you when you're going inside a building, you say thank you. If someone hands you a napkin because you're eating some kind of meal together, you say thank you. So if someone does these kind little courtesies for you, you say thank you. If you think someone stopped at a stop sign when you're driving down the road before you and you wave, okay, you go, and they wave, you go, I guess there's some kind of gesture. Maybe you could say, thank you for letting me go first. That's being polite, right? Or like you're walking down the street, a car stops for you and lets you cross the street when they didn't have to. You wave and say thank you because they acknowledge that you had the right of way of the road. So yeah, that kind of stuff. Does God want us to be polite? Why? Well, we haven't looked at the Bible verse yet. So here it says, honor your father and mother, Ephesians 6:2. I don't know. I really don't know. That verse doesn't really talk about being polite. It says honor. So they're using the word honor and polite to be similar or kind of mean the same thing. Or respecting other people, I guess would be another word to use. And then a side note, the letter P, why is P sound like P? So I'm pronouncing it, and what I was taught is E is the E sound. So it's like P-E, and it seems like there's more than one E in the sound of the letter P. Why would be the letter E be in the sound of the letter P? And then you have the snap peas, that is a vegetable, and it's spelled P-E-A, and it's like, well, why did someone call the letter P and then call P-E-A? Wouldn't it be P-A? Wouldn't that be how you pronounce P, as the vegetable, like P-A? You're not pronouncing all the letters and the spelling, but they're like, we're going to pronounce it P. And then someone who claimed to be my dad, or there were other boys, when it came to urination or urinate, they're like, yeah, P is short for urination or urinate. And so it's like, there's definitely something wrong with the sounds of the letters. Maybe the definition, the meaning or words are more legit, but like, why would you do that? Why would you want to say the letter is P and then be like in the bathroom, I'm peeing, ha 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 ha, here's the alphabet, M-N-O-P, Q-R-S, ha 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 ha, I'm peeing the letter P at the same time. Like, why would you want that? Who would create a language system like that? Who in their right mind would create a language system like that? Doesn't make any sense. Okay. So, like people's attitudes, they're saying be positive, be positive, be positive. But literally what everybody speaks around me is a whole bunch of negativity. They're claiming that they keep saying the prices of food and expenses and shelter and everything keep going up and up and up and up. And then, uh, they're saying, oh, everyone has so many health problems because they're not vegan. Well, I went vegan, still have health problems. So they're being super negative because they're literally giving me false information. They're like, we're Christian, we're loving, we're kind, we're good, we're gonna go to heaven. The Lord God, they're gonna defeat the devil. It's gonna be amazing in heaven. Well, I don't know. Like, don't you have to speak properly to also make it to heaven? Because it says you'll be changed in a twinkling of an eye. Uh, but it said, in in that verse that it was like no more people will become dead anymore. That's where the change happened. It didn't say you're supernaturally going to be healed and you're supernaturally going to be able to speak the language properly. It was referring to the state of you literally cannot become dead anymore. So like I'm not sure where they're getting their ideas. Do they have a more detailed oriented Bible that goes into the specifics of that more than all the Bibles I have access to? So again, I do not think I really live in a true polite society where people are genuine, where people are kind, where people are caring, because all the information that people give me is false. Because literally, like in high school, people are like, if you do a good job, if you respect authority, if you respect your bosses, they will honor that and you'll get a legitimate wage for the work you do. I never got a legitimate wage for any of the jobs that I had to be able to pay all the bills or all the expenses that are required to be able to successfully live on your own. I'd be like in debt all the time if I hadn't lived with other people the whole entire time. So I don't know how people are doing it. Again, I think people are giving me false information. But I'm supposed to say thank you. Thank you, everyone, for giving me false information and not telling me the truth ever of what you do behind my back that makes it so you can have that amazing mansion or that amazing house and that amazing pool and that amazing brand new car or vehicle or truck, or that amazing vacation, or whatever you did that you bragged to me about, because I could never afford any of these luxurious items or even a good, poor vacation where you have enough money for gas and to pay to go to a state park and pay to camp at a state park, like, yeah, never had money for that either. So uh yeah, to do that myself, or even to pick a cheaper motel and go somewhere and be like, I'm gonna stay in a hotel, I'm gonna eat out at restaurants most of the time, and then I'm gonna just like go for walks in different parks and view the sights. Never had enough money to do that kind of vacation. So I'm really don't understand if everyone gets paid for some of the minutes in the hour only. How do you pay all the bills? How do you pay all the expenses? Because I never could. And I really strove or did my best to do manual labor and respect my bosses and authority figures. And it's like, literally, everyone in society is like, I don't care about you. Truly Jacob, a writer, and that's not my real name. Again, pen writing media name. So, but they're like, we don't care about you. Ha 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 ha. You're left to your lonesome self. Have fun. You need to do self-love, but then everything that you need to do for self-love, including, oh, nail polish. Oh. Nail polish. Oh, it got smudged. It didn't work properly, you know? So you pay like $14 per bottle. Did it really take uh, 14 minutes to fill the whole bottle with nail polish, and then in a factory, and then put it in the package? Or did it really take 14 minutes to even put it in a package and then mail it to you or whatever? Like, why is it $14 for one bottle of nail polish, and the nail polish is not chip proof, you know? Like, it's not high-end quality stuff. It really should have been maybe like $1 per bottle. And then you pay like a legitimate like fee for like, okay, here's shipping. Here's $1 to have it mailed to you, you know? But no, everyone wants everything to be super expensive. And I'm supposed to be polite and loving and kind in society and be, thank you. Isn't it amazing that everything's so expensive and nothing's for free? And everyone wants everyone to eventually starve to death and die from starvation or become dead from starvation. Yay! Don't I just love living in society? Everyone wants everyone to become dead eventually. So, no, I am not okay with this fake, polite society that say, oh, we want everything to be more positive, but we're not actually going to implement any positive changes so that society can become really positive. So, sorry, you have not sold me that you are truly positive people. In fact, you have sold me. Your words, your actions, your behavior have demonstrated in full that you really all are super negative individuals. Because you don't know how to accept the truth of how bad things really are in society. Because if you did, you would implement changes to make society actually positive. So let's find the ladybugs. No ladybugs over there, but that is a pig, right? That's what you declare bacon is, that you eat and is healthy for you and gives you nutrition. You want to eat the muscles of that thing. No ladybug. There ladybug. Oh, 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. Maybe about 12. I could be wrong. Maybe 13. I don't know. How many ladybugs did you find? And if you were teaching children moral lessons, would you use this book? If you were teaching children the alphabet and it's Christian material, you know, that the parents require them to use, would you use this book to help teach the alphabet? Again, I think there should be an audio with the correct pronunciation of every single letter, so you can actually sound out what you read like they said you would be able to while learning, which ended up not being a true statement that was taught to me. But again, I'm supposed to be polite and thankful that everyone taught me wrong pretty much about every single subject, and nothing works legitimately well for me at all. Thank you so much for making everything not work, whether it's religious concepts, intellectual concepts, clothes, equipment, houses. Thank you so much for speaking negativity over everything so nothing works properly. So again, this video is allowing negativity and positivity to be here. So what is the positive? Well, if you tell the truth of this is actually the true condition of society, and people wake up and they realize, oh, we are definitely speaking wrong, and people on a massive level make those corrections to start talking properly and teaching everyone who doesn't know how to talk properly, then those positive transition can happen in society as a whole, and we can speak correctly and have more positive words and more positive actions and more positive behaviors and get along better with everyone. And that at least gives me a better environment where I can do more self-love, because I'm learning how to talk properly. I can communicate at least with myself better. And even if you spend more time alone, if you know how to be successful in these other areas of you get a different kind of job where you can work from home, or do different things to earn money, and it all adds up and it pays for all the expenses that you have in life, then it's like, that's really just what I wanted. I wanted a legitimate life. I didn't have to be the richest person in the world, but I wanted to at least be able to pay for all the expenses that one acquires from being independent, and I couldn't do that. So I'm just wanting the basic bottom level of money and finances, and I don't even get that. So, but everyone else seems to have that, but I don't get that at all. But everyone makes it seem like around me that they're in a worse state than I am, which isn't true, because I couldn't even afford my own apartment. I couldn't I can't afford to keep buying used cars and then breaking down to the point where it's like that car got totaled mechanically on the inside, where it's like, I'm sorry, you no longer work anymore because the transmission fluid is like gone from your car. Your car doesn't work anymore. It's like, okay, like, do you really need transmission fluid to run a car? That's what everyone said, but how does the car actually properly run? Are people giving me false information? Are they saying that my car needs repairs and it really doesn't? It just needs blessings spoken over it to be repaired, or like, what's going on with my car? Because, like, again, the Bibles that we have, there's blessings and cursings, and it seemed like if you really believe there's power in your words, then you can curse yourself or others for things not to work properly. So that means to fix everything, you have to say specific blessings to fix the area that got cursed. But that's not what people are showing that you could do. But if you learned how to talk properly, then you just say the proper phrase, and then you'd be able to fix the problem yourself just by saying a blessing. So it's like, I would have been willing to do that. I would have been willing to fix the car myself by just saying a blessing if that's really how it works. But everyone's all over the place. You have to do manual labor. Oh, but in the religion that you teach, it's a blessing and cursing religion. It doesn't talk about problems with manual labor. It's like it's a problem with cursing yourself or others or participating in sins that curse you. So, like, I was doing my best to not participate in any curses and speak blessings over me the majority of the time. And I don't get it. Like, nothing works. Nothing works. Religion don't work. Cars and mechanics don't work. Everything's super expensive. So I think society as a whole wants nothing to work. They want this super negative environment for some reason. They're like, it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, how worse do you want it to get? Are you gonna like speak so many curses over everyone that everyone's like literally starving to and gonna become dead? Because I know my body, I can't handle starvation. So I'm sorry, I cannot be positive if that's where you want society to get so bad that no one has enough food. Like, food's so expensive that you don't have food for 2 meals a day for 7 days in the week, all month long, all year long. Like, when is your negativity going to stop? When is it going to end society? But yeah, you want me to be super positive. No negativity whatsoever. I'm sorry. Practice what you preach. Practice what you tell everyone. Be more positive. Be a solution. With your words, with your actions, with your behavior. All of it. You can't continue to say you don't want people to be negative anymore if that's really what your words and your behavior and your actions are the majority of the time. You are being a negative person and you don't mean what you say. So I'm tired of this. We're gonna expect that, hey, you truly, Jacob, a writer, you have to be positive all the time, but everyone else has a free ride and they can be as negative as they want to be all the time, no matter what. That isn't fair. So if you want me to be polite, I will wave to you. I will say hi, but doesn't mean you know me, doesn't mean I know you, doesn't mean we have a relationship with each other. Even if I live with you, doesn't mean we have a real relationship with each other, especially if those individuals want to be negative all the time. The majority of the time. Why are people getting angry? Is it because someone spoke negativity over you? Did you speak negativity over yourself? When are you going to switch to speaking positivity over yourself and others the majority of the time? Are you going to take responsibility for the words that you speak? Are you going to take responsibility for your own actions? Are you going to take responsibility for your own behavior? Or are you going to keep blaming everybody else for what you think is going wrong in your life? Because I have tried to take responsibility for all of my words, my actions, and my behavior. I have tried to think things through. Be like, what is the root issue of what is going wrong? Let's get to the root issue. Okay. This is the solution. Let's implement the solution. That is what I have strived to do, especially starting in high school. I don't know about elementary school. Again, in elementary school, you're developing that comprehension level. What do these words really mean? Okay, well, the more you comprehend the language or what you're reading, what you're hearing, even if it's mismatched sounds to letters, the better at comprehension you are going to get, at least at some level. And it's like, okay, this is what people are saying, this is what people are doing. They do not match. They're not doing what they're saying they're doing. So something's got wrong. So again, I am doing the best I can. How am I supposed to really be polite and respect everybody and honor everyone around me when society as a whole wants the extreme negativity? I want positivity in the extreme, the majority of the time. However, maybe for part of my emotional healing process, I may need to get the correct definition of certain negative words, or negative words too, with the proper meanings and definitions, and look at certain things and be like, okay, this is what went wrong with the language. People were speaking wrong. They weren't even using the right definitions in full of all of the words that were written down. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Why it was such a negative environment. And then it's like you switch to using the proper words with the proper definitions, even when talking about negative concepts. You process your emotions, you release those emotions, you get it out of your system, and then you're like, okay, I am so glad that I was able to process that information, get it out of me in a healthy way, so I didn't attack the individuals that deeply hurt me and wounded me. And it's like, well, if they don't change, then you can't have a relationship with those individuals, because like they just want the negativity. So you're like, goodbye. You have to say goodbye to the negative relationships in your life and be like, I'm sorry, I can't be around you. I need positivity in my life. I'm gonna love myself. I'm gonna love other people who want the higher level of positivity. So that's what you have to do. But you may have to reach out for help, and that's why I wrote Trump and the governor Kathy. And they're probably doing a lot of behind the scenes work that I don't know about to make tons of positive changes when they're actually implemented. I don't know when they're going to be implemented, but I will thank them. Um, if I don't thank them in person, I will definitely be thanking them in video once these changes happen. But you can't really thank somebody before the changes are implemented, right? Because it's like, oh, thank you for trying to improve the situation. It didn't actually get improved very much. Really, are you going to thank somebody before they actually are able to do something for you that actually deeply impacts your life? You're going to have great gratitude and thanks when it's actually implemented. So, but people keep talking bad about the governor, about the president Trump, and it's like, are they giving me false information about what they're really trying to do for society as a whole? And if there is a super positive environment that you can go to, where it's super positive and it's done the way you want, then it's like, well, move to a different country if you don't like living in the United States of America, if you don't like Trump being president, if you don't like the governor Kathy. being the governor, then move to a different country. No one says you have to stay in the United States of America. If you'd rather live in a different country, go move there. If a different country aligns with your value system of what you want, move to that country, and then stop visiting America since you hate it so much. That's a positive solution. Like, go move to the country that agrees with the governmental system that your heart is set on wanting so bad. You know, make a positive change. Stop complaining. People have different opinions, perspective, ideas, and viewpoints. People have a different way of doing things. So even in a democracy, different politicians that come together to make positive changes, a different administration in charge, they could literally, what am I trying to say? They could implement a slightly different democratic governmental system. So that's why you have a whole voting system. You don't know exactly what democratic system you're going to get because different people, different individuals run things a little bit differently. But the important thing is that you run it. So everyone says we have a democracy. Do we? Do we have a democracy? If I can't pay all my bills and I work 5 days a week, do we really have a democracy? If you have to go into debt to be able to live on your own and you just acquire more and more and more debt to be able to pay all your bills or expenses that you're required to even have just to, sustain life, that's not a democracy. It's definitely not a democracy for me. So people have given me false information. They say we're under a democracy, but then how come I didn't get paid a legitimate wage to pay all the expenses that I have at the bottom level, plus at least a reasonable amount of retirement money? So it's like when you get 100 years old, you're allowed to retire now, or 80 or 70 or whatever they said. You're allowed to retire and maybe like have a work like a few hour, maybe like a 4-hour shift a week or something, or 2-hour or 8 hours a week or something, and that's it. And like have a little part-time job where you're still mingling with the community somehow, and it's like a super easy job for the elderly. Where is that, like, poor version paying all the expenses or bills that you have to sustain life, because it's a necessity to have a vehicle to get to work. It's a necessity to have food. It's a necessity to have a certain amount of clothes, and then you might want, cheaper jewelry if you're a girl, or you may want some nail polish from time to time, because literally I never had enough money to pay a salon to consistently do my nails all the time. But it seemed like girls especially, did not have a problem having tons of money to go to the restaurant, to eat all the time, to do their nails every week or like once a month or every 2 weeks. And that's their toes and their fingernails, where like I chose the cheaper method of doing nails, which was buy nail polish myself and do it myself. But then the nail polish chipped, and then if you I tried other things, it's like, well, your nails grow, and if you have a certain profession, like for instance healthcare, where from time to time you have to touch people or something, or you're massaging or helping people stretch, like if your nails are too long, you could accidentally scratch people with your nails. So that meant your nails had to be short. So you had to file them. And so literally by filing the nails, it was like it made the nail polish chip even faster. So how am I exactly supposed to be polite and say thank you to society as a whole because like nail polish didn't work? I didn't make enough money to ever pay for basic expenses that you need to be able to live on your own. So how I did it is literally I had to live with other people. Um, but it's like someone obviously doesn't know how to do math, but they taught math in school. So does everyone need to go back to school and do math over? Has society as a whole become really, really stupid because they're choosing to speak so wrong? Like, do you know how to add and subtract numbers? Like, do you know how to calculate how much money you need a month to pay all the expenses and all the bills? Because I don't think people really understand the amount of money that you need. Um, but I'm supposed to be so positive and so thankful. So thank you for creating a super negative environment for me to live in and demand that I'm adult and take care of myself. And it really seems like people are cheating. Like, where are they getting the extra money to pay all the expenses or the bills for each month? Plus the vacation that they take multiple times a year or one time a year. What are people really doing? Are people legitimately working, or are they actually saying that they're working? Like, what's going on? But everyone made me work and I couldn't even pay all my expenses and bills? Like, like, who came up with this system? This system doesn't work. We do not have a democracy. I don't know who thinks we have a democracy, but like, have you studied what a democracy really is? Because it was the land of the free, the home of the brave. You're supposed to be able to pay all the bills and the expenses and be able to get ahead. You're supposed to have a successful life. That was what America was supposed to be about, you know? But if you can't be successful, then you're worse than the Dark Ages. You're worse than a dictatorship. So, anyways. Positivity and negativity is allowed to be here because, as you can hear by the tone of my voice, I am upset because I can't meet these ridiculous expectations that people are putting on me. I don't know how. I legitimately don't know how. I have tried and I have failed. And if things continue as they are, ridiculous, where you get paid for some of the minutes in the hour for an hour's worth of work, you're never going to be able to make enough money to pay all the expenses and all of the bills if you live fully on your own. It's just not going to work. But that's what people expect of me. Like, are people getting free money somewhere that I don't know about? No one's telling me how to get this free money. Where do you go to get this free money? Because whenever I've gone to the bank, they never offered me free money. So, I am doing the best I can. I will continue to do the best I can. Can society become more positive? So I guess that's why I'm doing this video, to let everyone know. I don't know what to do anymore. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.